Thank you. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Let's begin. First of all, welcome everybody. My name is Anuj Sonpal, CEO of Valorem Advisors. We represent the investor relations of Prostarm Infosystems Limited. On behalf of the company, let me first thank you all for participating in this event. And I'd also like this opportunity to thank the management for giving us this opportunity to host them. So as you all know, the Valorem CXO Meet is a first of its kind virtual analyst meet event series. And our intention with these virtual CXO meets is to take advantage of technology platforms like this by reaching out to a wider audience to create a better fundamental understanding about our client company's business, provide insights into their specific industry, financials, and future growth strategies. The format of this meeting will be primarily in a Q&A interview format, where I will start off by asking the management some broad level questions and then move on to taking questions from the participants. Please note that if you have a question to ask the management, you can type the same in the Q&A button link at the bottom of your screen. Please do not use the hand raise button. So let's begin. Let me start off by mentioning a short cautionary statement. Some of the statements made in today's meeting may be forward-looking in nature. Such forward-looking statements are subject to risks and uncertainties, which could cause actual results to differ from those anticipated. Such statements are based on management's beliefs as well as assumptions made by and information currently available to management. Audiences are cautioned not to place any undue reliance on these forward-looking statements in making any investment decisions. Now, let me introduce you to the management participating with us today. We firstly have with us Mr. Ram Agarwal. Ramji is the promoter and the CEO as well as whole-time director of the company. Ramji holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree from University of Calcutta. He brings over 17 years of experience in the fields of electrical and electronic control, energy storage, power conditioning, and power consumption solutions. He has been instrumental in formulating and implementing business strategies aimed at the growth and expansion of the business. In recognition of his contributions, he was honored with the Engineering Excellence Award for Young Entrepreneurs in the Power Electronics sector by Divya Media Publication Private Limited in May 2022. We also have with us Mr. Abhishek Jain. He's the Chief Financial Officer. Mr. Abhishek is a chartered accountant and has been serving as a CFO since October 2020. He brings with him over 18 years of experience in accounts, credit analysis, and banking. Mr. Abhishek plays a key role in overseeing the financial planning, analysis, and fiscal management of the company. Over the course of his career, he has worked with reputed organizations such as Axis Bank, Tata Capital, Siemens Financial, and Stray Infrastructure. Now, without any further delay, let's begin. My first question is for Ramji. Ramji, good afternoon. Ramji, if you could start with giving a little bit background, brief history about the company to some of our audience who are looking at the company for the first time, and also take us through your journey so far. That would be great to start.
Good afternoon, all of you. I, Ram Agarwal, has started this company in 2008. First, let me brief you about my journey, how I started. 2002, I came from Calcutta to Pune. I was doing service at local private company in Pune. That company was into power electronics. So I'll give mix of English and Hindi so that everybody can understand. 2002 में मैं कंपनी स्टार्ट मैं नौकरी करता था सेम इंडस्ट्री में पावर रिलेटेड यूपीएस एंड बैटरी 2002 to 2006 I worked in a company. Then 2006 onward, I start thinking of doing my own. So 2008, I started this company, Prostar, from Pune, with the intention to become a power electronics solution provider and a OEM. To start with, we have started with particular ATM and banking sector, BFSI. So by virtue of being into BFSI, ऑल इंडिया हमारे सेटअप बन गए वर्चुअली एवरी स्टेट कैपिटल हमारे आज ऑफिसेस है ऑल इंडिया वी हैव अराउंड 500 पीपल एज ऑन डेट एंड initially from 2008 to 2018 or 19 we can say largely we were focused खाली हम ATM banks and BFSI सेक्टर को ही हम टारगेट करते थे हमारा 90% सेल्स वाज this sector only, finance sector, ATM and BFSI. Then Corona आ गया. while sitting at home, we thought of doing something out of the our comfort domain, that is BFSI. So 2020, I met a gentleman in Pune where we acquired our technology there. And by virtue of that acquisition, we are able to start a full-fledged manufacturing unit in Pune. So today, a good amount of product we are manufacturing in Pune. Largely, we also import from China, but now we also do all customization. सारे जितने भी यूपीएस है, वैरायटी ऑफ यूपीएस, वैरायटी ऑफ पावर सप्लाई, वी डू इट फ्रॉम पुणे. एंड आज हम इन यूपीएस, सर्वो स्टेबलाइजर, ट्रांसफार्मर, सर्वो हाइब्रिड इन्वर्टर एंड नाउ एनर्जी स्टोरेज, ये सब सेक्टर में एज अ पावर सप्लाई ओईएम की तरफ काम कर रहे हैं.
Thank you, Ramji. Ramji, could you also give us a little bit more details? आपने mention किया कि UPS, etc., all these. So, if you can, let's deep dive a bit more. कि क्या है? What are the products and services that we are offering across the different segments that we cater to, and also if you can talk a little bit about, what kind of geographies in India we are supplying to, who are our potential clients, or what are the kind of clients that we are working with. Give a little bit of flavor on that.
इनिशियली हमने स्टार्ट किया था बैंकिंग से, एटीएम से. तो 2008 टिल 2018 इंडिया के सारे प्राइवेट बैंक्स, पीएसयूज, एटीएम मैन्युफैक्चरर, इंश्योरेंस कंपनी वाज आवर कस्टमर. हम वहां पर यूपीएस, बैटरी, सर्वो स्टेबलाइजर सप्लाई करते थे. जो भी उनकी पावर नीड्स होती थी वो हम पूरा करते थे. एट मनी प्लेसेस वी हैव गिवन सोलर आल्सो. Post Corona, like 2020, we have diversified and focused into many new area. जैसे कि भी हमारे पास स्पेशलाइज यूपीएस हो गई है दिल्ली मेट्रो के लिए, एयरपोर्ट्स के लिए, डिफेंस के लिए, टूल्स एंड मशीनरी फैक्ट्री यूज के लिए, एनी टाइप ऑफ नॉन स्टैंडर्ड रिक्वायरमेंट इन पावर सप्लाई, वी आर देयर टू फुलफिल दैट. सो ये आज हमारी कैपेबिलिटी बन गई है. हमने सेंसिटिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एज सेंसिटिव एज डीआरडीओ में हम सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, सीएमईटी में सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे एंट्री करना भी एक चैलेंज है. एंड डीएमआरसी इज आवर कस्टमर. एयरपोर्ट वी आर इम्पैनल्ड फॉर ऑल इंडिया. एंड रिसेंटली अभी हमने पावर सेक्टर में, यूटिलिटी सेक्टर में हमने यूपीएस सप्लाई किया है टू 2-3 डिस्कॉम कंपनी, where there's a entry, it's very tough entry barrier आप बोल सकते हो वहां पर. is only for the big time MNC only. सो ये सब एरिया में फोकस कर रहे हैं. यूपीएस बोलने से सबके दिमाग में कंप्यूटर मालूम चलती है कि कंप्यूटर संग चलती है. ये अब वो यूपीएस नहीं रही. आप कोई भी एरिया में कोई भी मशीनरी लगा लो, चाहे वो टूल्स मशीनरी हो, चाहे मेडिकल हो, चाहे वो कंस्ट्रक्शन हो, एनी सेक्टर, you need UPS compulsory because they need constant power supply and regulated voltage frequency, which can be given only by either by UPS or by generator. रॉ पावर से ये अचीव नहीं हो सकती है. इसके लिए नाउ वी आर इनटू वर्चुअली इन ऑल द अपकमिंग सेक्टर्स इन इंडिया टुडे.
Sure. Can you also talk about the other business segments that we do? Like we are also into IT systems, etc. What are we doing here? Can you explain a little bit more in detail on those other services?
एक्चुअली सेक्टर वाइज अगर आप हमें बात करूं, देयर आर 3-4 सेक्टर्स. लाइक यूपीएस इज वन सेक्टर, आईटी इंफ्रा इज वन सेक्टर, थर्ड पार्टी solution is other sector, then solar EPC, and then now BESS. So मैं सब आपको भी यूपीएस के बारे में बताया मैंने. नाउ आई विल टेल यू अबाउट द आईटी प्रोजेक्ट, आईटी इंफ्रा. गवर्नमेंट की कोई भी ई गवर्नेंस प्रोजेक्ट आती है इंडिया में, उसमें पावर इज मस्ट. तो हमने क्या किया, हम हमारे कंपनी के पोर्टफोलियो बड़ा करने के लिए, अपनी रीच बढ़ाने के लिए, हमने एक दो प्रोजेक्ट में वर्किंग किया, आईटी प्रोजेक्ट, where our UPS goes with a third party product like computer, printer, and हम एक solution प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को. So this type of sector we have ventured into, और हमने एक दो ऑर्डर बड़े काम भी किया है. रिसेंटली हमें एक बड़े ऑर्डर भी मिला है अभी हमें. थर्ड इज द third party solutions. So third party solutions means we supply batteries. Battery is a third party bought out. So but our UPS doesn't work without battery. So battery is a third party product for us. So like battery, there are many accessories, rack, interlinks, control panel. So these all items we club and supply along with our product. So we term it as a third party solution. Fourth is our solar EPC. We don't do megawatt level EPC. This EPC is only for our own product, hybrid solar system. So आप देखोगे major EPC is our hybrid project where we have given our product along with storage. Then it comes value added service. So value added service is like AMC, uh, service AMC, service sales. So whatever post supply, post completion of warranty, whatever business we do, we call it value added services. As like as simple language में AMC service हो गई. Then lastly it is lithium battery and then energy storage. 2020 में हमने लिथियम बैटरी की प्लांट लगाई थी मुंबई में. एंड हमने यूपीएस में जो बैटरी लगती है लेड एसिड बैटरी, हमने उसको चेंज करके हमने ट्यूबुलर बैटरी लिथियम बैटरी लगाया हमने. एंड लास्ट 4-5 years we have done a fairly good business, mainly with State Bank of India, All India. So now with that experience, with the experience of the electronics, today we call it PCS. I call it hybrid in our technology. Then we have thought of going into BESS. So this is how we are journey take place.
Great. Thank you, Ramji. Let's, if we can, I think BESS is obviously a area which is of a lot of interest to everybody. If you can just, if we can go deeper into this segment, could you tell us what we are doing here, what is the opportunity size? How do we as a company are aiming to tap this opportunity? And also, how will Prostam differentiate itself from the other players that are also, because there seems like a lot of people are getting into BESS right now. So how will we differentiate from this? So maybe overall opportunity size, what are we going to be doing and how can we differentiate?
See, I will discuss with you BESS as a product, as a sector. My colleague Abhishek, he will talk to your number. BESS as a sector is the most upcoming sector in India. आज बेस वर्ड से लोग जंप कर रहे हैं कि नहीं हमें बेस करनी है, विदाउट नोइंग कि बेस क्या है, व्हाट इज बेस एक्चुअली. हाफ ऑफ पीपल से लिथियम है, स्टोरेज है. दिस इज नॉट द केस. सो फर्स्ट, देयर इज नो मैन्युफैक्चर इन इंडिया फॉर बेस. देयर आर फ्यू कंपोनेंट मैन्युफैक्चर फॉर बेस इन इंडिया, but as a base complete product, there is no single manufacturer in India today. There are four main components of the BESS: battery, PCS, transformer, EMS. Oh, if you see, battery and PCS largely controlled by China. In India, PCS, this transformer, EMS can be 100% locally available. So ये चारों प्रोडक्ट को इंटीग्रेट कर कर हम ये बेस्ट सोल्यूशन बना सकते हैं. बेस्ट इज लाइक स्टोरेज, एक सिंगल कंटेनराइज सॉल्यूशन है. उसमें पीसीएस बैटरी सब रहती है along with cooling thermal management system, along with EMS, BMS and other control panel along with PCS to give a common desired output, whatever is the storage that can be given as per the demand. So as an organization, we want to focus ourselves as a manufacturer of BESS only. Though we have taken one order as a EPC, two order as a developer, but largely अगर आप हमसे पूछोगे तो हम as a manufacturer, as a service provider हम focus करना चाहते हैं, not as a EPC, not as a developer in long run.
Sure. Abhishek ji, do you want to take up the question on the overall market opportunity as well as Prostam's approach on how we will differentiate?
Right. So, hi, good evening, everyone. Regarding BESS as an opportunity, so this space has taken, I mean, which is right now a big buzzword going on. It's expected to be something around 66 gigawatt hour by 2032, mainly driven by growth expected in the renewable energy space. So, with the mission and renewable, just Just a minute. Yeah, with renewable energy space, where whatever growth is happening, same way this space is also growing. So it's expected to be something around 6 gigawatt hour by 2032, as well as there is a mandate from CEC that every co-locating space under renewable energy need to have 10% of storage in the form of energy storage, which would be either BESS or pump solar. So, market something value-wise, if we consider roughly, it's roughly around 5 lakh crore is the market which is expected. As well as it's also in line with our Honorable Prime Minister mission of CO2 come karna hai. So it would give us something around 2,000 million metric ton of CO2 emission downsizing. So this is one segment which is growing, as well as the C&I segment, I mean, which is the commercial and industrial segment. That space is also attracting BESS as the ask because it results into peak shaving, your stability, your so policy is one which is driving peak saving is which is driving the grid stability, which is driving the BESS space as a whole. So now Prostarm differentiating factor which would play as a role is what Ramji told, that uh, we want to be like an OEM in this space. What is happening that people right now there would be installation happening, but there's a 12-year of period which is going to come up. So how will that space be catered? So you need somebody to service here in India, somebody to understand this product in India. So the total item is all imported and then the dependence is totally on overseas body. So it might take 2 month, 3 months timeline only to understand it. So here the beauty of Roaster and we want to work more on a hybrid category model where we are like a manufacturer to them, we are like an OEM to them. After the EPC is done, we also go for the operational and maintenance side. So this is what is would be a differentiating factor for Prostarm. And for this, we have already started, we have already taken a property there in Jhajjar. So that factory is coming up, and by end of this financial year, that 1.2 gigawatt factory in Jhajjar would be up under single shift. So I think India presence and being from power electronics space should give an extra mileage to Prostarm.
Great. Thank you, Abhishek ji. Next question, let me circle back to Ramji. Ramji, if we can talk a little bit about the overall industry that we are in of power equipment, etc. There seems to be obviously in recent years, a surge in demand for the products that we are making. But there also seems to be a lot of competition. Can you talk a little bit about how the competitive environment is shaping up? Is there enough demand for all players like yourselves to sustain and grow in this environment? Because we have seen in your sector this a lot. That there is always a surge of demand and then there is some rationalization. So how do you see our sector's business growth and also competitive environment for you, if you can talk a bit about that?
अगर मैं ग्रोथ की बात करूं, ग्रोथ इज फिनोमिनल मींस कोई रोक नहीं है ग्रोथ में, बिकॉज कोई भी सेक्टर ग्रोथ करे, पावर इज मस्ट, एनर्जी इज मस्ट, सो ग्रोथ इज एंडलेस. मैं थोड़ी सेक्टर की बात करता हूं मैं, like UPS or you can say power sector is largely into, there are two type of supplier. Tier 1, which is global MNC working in India. Tier 2, like those are Indian company working and competing with among ourselves. So I can say like we are in the top three company, or I can say the one of the top company as a Indian in a tier 2 category as an Indian company. So when I say this, I target or I represent which sector we are focusing or we want to focus. एग्जाम्पल बताता हूँ, जैसे ऑयल एंड गैस लो आप। ऑयल एंड गैस इज अ सेक्टर, वहाँ पे यूपीएस is customized UPS, not a regular UPS. And last 20 years, only 2 or 3 company has supplied UPS to all oil refinery and company, because they have the product, and those are global MNC company working in India. So I can say, like, we are now entered into oil and gas. We have got those technology, we have got those credential. We are able to get into the sector. So like oil and gas, we have metro, airport, large infra project, large power project, where power supply is must, power conditioning equipment is must, and their entry barrier is there. Local Indian company cannot supply. It's not that they cannot supply just for choice. They cannot supply because they don't have that product. They don't have those credential. So I'm talking on merit wise. I'm not talking on any other reason. So this merit we are having now. So by virtue of this, we are competing with the global MNC company only in the most of sector. So their competition become very easy for us. There are other type of market where, like, local dealer market, local uh, like tools and machinery, medical equipment sector, where local people are there. Their competition is more. So if you see, some area we are having the cream share, some we are having the moderate, and some area we work on very less margin. So overall, we are in a much better position to compete with the market, and to be into the tier two, but competing with the tier one. So this placement we enjoy, and we are getting a lot of benefit of it.
Okay, thank you, Ramji. Next, let me move to Abhishek ji. Abhishek ji, on the financials, we've obviously had a very good growth track record over the last few years. Our return ratios are also strong. Could you talk to us a little bit about the situation right now? How is our order book today? And also, what is the outlook on the sustainability of these earnings in the coming years? Abhishek ji, you're on mute, sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. I found this as on June, the order book was 314 crore. And post that, we have taken two more big orders. So today, if you speak, my order size is something around 1050 plus crore of order in hand. And regarding sustainability side, see, it is about the segment. All segments which is there is growing, and Prostarm dependence also is not there on one particular product and one particular industry segment. So we are there in healthcare, defense, aviation, energy storage. So all products. So this overall mix plus the mix equal mix, right mix of private and government as a whole could help us to achieve the required numbers going forward as well.
Got it. Let's move on to now questions from the participants. I've already taken a bit of time. So I think, so participants, once again, as a reminder, if you have questions, you can type the question in the Q&A button, and I'll ask these questions on your behalf to the management. I already see a lot of questions that have been come up, so I'll just go through them one by one. The first question is from Anil Kataria. I think a lot of these questions have already been answered, but like clarity, okay, since the company is already engaged in manufacturing inverters and voltage stabilizers, can you clarify what percentage of the total cost of a BESS system can be met through its own products versus we have to buy a third party?
See, today, the actual what we are manufacturing today cannot go as it is in the best. We have to do some customization, some upgradation to fit into the best. So going forward, maybe near future, we are targeting to be under Make in India, more than 50% category Make in India in BESS. So I cannot talk on product component wise, but I can talk on overall holistically that we will be above 50% Make in India.
Okay, so his second question is actually digging deeper on this, saying, can you give clarity on what are we going to do in this plant? Will you be making small battery systems in kilowatt? Are you planning to do some kind of IPP contract there? And what will be the revenue expectation at 100% capacity utilization from this plant?
See, already last 4 year, 4.5 year, we are assembling kilowatt level in lithium battery pack in our Mumbai plant, MAPE. So at this Manesar plant, we will be only manufacturing megawatt level BESS only. Only two sectors is our target area from this factory, C&I and utility. And we will be importing lithium cell from China, from cell to module, module to rack, rack to container. This whole process will take place in this factory only. So
Okay.
that's why I told you more than 50% we will fall under Make in India once we achieve the full output of the factory.
And at peak, what kind of revenues, maybe Abhishek
See,
ji,
one
you
as a
can add?
thumb rule, this is plant is 1.2 gigawatt hour capacity with one shift. So 1.2 gigawatt means 1200 megawatt hour. As a thumb rule, going rate is 1 crore per megawatt hour in the market. I'm not going into the actual number, I'm just a hypothetical number. So 1 crore into 1200. If we touch the peak, then the revenue can be 1200 crores from this
Okay.
factory alone
Under single shift.
under single shift.
And this in your, I know it's too early to say the plant is not yet operational, etc. But what is our vision? Can we achieve this in 3 years, 5 years? What kind of
See,
visibility
we have today whole India is busy in bidding and taking the order. Nobody, I not say
is
nobody,
executed?
very few people are working on execution. So we are focusing on execution and then backward reverse integration in this factory. If all goes well, then next year maybe 50-60%. Next year we will achieve it 100% minimum.
Okay,
Because
so
it's
at
one
least in
shift.
3 years, we should be able to go to 100%.
Third year, not
Yeah.
3 years. Third year we will be achieving 100%.
Okay. Next question, Abhishek ji, this is for you.
Yeah.
What would the reasons for the reduction in EBITDA margins in Q1 FY26?
See, in Q1 FY26, if you look, the EBITDA margin, the revenue size was 54 crore, which we achieved as against 93 crores. So your cost of operation always remains to that area. So because of the higher fixed cost, the EBITDA margin was on the lower side.
Okay. What was the same number in Q1 FY25? Can you quantify?
Q1 FY25, the bottom line PAT stood at
No,
1.8,
no, no, no. The EBITDA margin.
3.8 something, 3.8%.
So it has grown from 3.8% to 6.7
So
something percent.
it stood at 7.1% in Q1 June 21. I mean June 25.
Q1 FY25.
Q1 FY25, yeah.
Okay, so
But if you
7%, which
compare with June 25 to June 24, the June 24 bottom line was much on the lower side, and it was only 71 lakh as against 81.82 crore in June 25.
okay, let's not, that's not the question. Moving on, the next question from Girish Kumar is, again, this is related to BESS. Given that battery cells constitute the largest cost component in BESS projects, could you elaborate on your cell sourcing strategy? Specifically, are you importing cells? And if so, what, from which geographies or suppliers? Do you have any long-term supply contracts in place?
Yes, sales is a major component for the whole solution. In India, there is no manufacturer for sales, and it is a hard truth that sales come from China only. But it is also a fact that lot of people are working to manufacture cells in India. In 2 years' time, this supply chain will start from within India only. And we don't have any written contract, but since we are working with China for more than 20 years now, so we have that comfort and confidence on both sides where we will not have any supply chain issues from China. And there are hundreds of suppliers from China, but judging a good supplier, making them work as per our requirement on our design, on our specification, that is the important. And that is the main comfort and the expertise area you can say for us.
So, um, coming to the best project, Abhishek ji, maybe this is for you. What is the overall project cost?
This project, it's the Jhajjar plant cost me something around 25 crore would be the project cost.
And what are the means of how are we financing this project?
This we are likely to finance from our own sources, or if we will decide
And
afterwards.
and we
Yeah,
have obviously our IPO just happened, so
IPO say,
the proceeds would be going for that.
true.
And when will the project get commissioned?
This is expected to start by end of this financial year, before early quarter of this financial year.
So Q1 FY27 at the max is what we're looking at. What are the
No, meanwhile, in last quarter of this financial year, the plant would be ready
right? I'm
to
saying at max Q1
max. Yeah,
FY27.
yeah. Yes, yes.
Um, Paras Sheda, next question asks is what is the expected growth of our traditional business, which is UPS and other products? So what is the growth outlook here?
So yeah, we can more speak about the overall growth perspective. So we are expected to grow something around at 20% in current financial year, and with more better visibility going forward. So even if the core product is there, that's also expected to grow in the line of around 15-20% per year.
Okay.
Uh,
Next question is from him is why in FY25 did this segment, which is manufacturing products, sales decline versus third-party power solutions sales grew?
The third party power solution, what you're looking at, there is one component of the end user computing. So if you remove the end user computing, it comes to around 30% on an overall basis. And it's about the revenue mix which happens, as well as the third party power solution is also somewhat complementary to my main manufactured product solution. So if you look at it's coming as a percentage, coming as 58%, it's only 31%, which was around 29% last year. It's because of addition of one more segment of end user computing.
Okay. Um, Next question from Agastya Dave is when do you expect these triggers to translate into revenue growth for the company in terms of timelines? What kind of capital investments, both in terms of fixed assets and working capital, would you need to address this opportunity? And I think he refers to the overall larger opportunity that we were talking about in the industry when we were giving the highlight initially. So, yeah, so his question is, when do you expect these triggers to translate into revenue, or is it already happening?
It's already happening. So right now we have a decent working capital line already to address this requirement. However, related to it's more also question inclined towards it might be the best category where business is going to grow. So that is still under evaluation. The borrowing would increase as per my revenue growth, which is going to happen. But still, we are yet to assess about what limit would be required.
So, next question, his follow-up is, what is the execution timeline for this approximately 1,000 crores order book?
I think Suram can answer this.
1,000 crore order. You want a split of the order of 1,000 crore?
Execution
Okay,
timeline. So
sorry.
how much of it?
My
Execution
apology.
timeline.
Okay, I will answer this. This thousand out of the 1,070 crores which is there, roughly around 220 crores would be executed in the current financial year, and remaining are majorly related to BESS. So that BESS order would be comparatively coming on a rental basis in the year going forward. So 220 is something which is there. Additionally, there is also channel business, which is delivering around 10 crore per month. So additional 60 crore, 280 crore out of this, something what we are expecting to be delivered in this current
And
financial.
you also recently won an order for IT systems, etc., for 150 crores. So that would also be this year, right?
That would also be this year.
What about the 600 crore large order, which is 10
So
year, 12?
this 600 crore is taken from KPTCL. This would be having a 46 crore of rental per year coming to us, along with the viability gap funding of 81 crore spread over almost 4 years.
And
And
that's for best systems.
that is for best systems. That's for best systems.
So that
So
will come primarily next year.
that would come primarily next year, because the
How,
execution timeline would be something around 8 months, 9 months for that particular project.
and how much would the 150 crore of IT systems be executed? This fully will get executed
This
this
would
year?
this totally would be done in this current financial. Our product, the business that we deal in, these are the very last mile products. So generally our delivery time is very, very small, when it's around 3 months or 6 months time, and we have to deliver the product, because after everything is done, then we are coming for execution. So whatever I'm saying about this particular part, this all would be executed in the current financial year.
And so that's 200 plus 150. So that's about 300 plus will be
No,
executed
no,
this
I
year.
have added CCTNS in that particular
Okay.
project. 280 crore is what we would be already we are doing. Plus, there are under evaluation is separate. Bid under evaluation is separate.
Yeah. Next question from Mohit Motwani is, what are the top 2 or 3 products that are contributing to the revenues today, and how will the mix change in the next few years? Obviously, the mix will change more towards BESS, which is a very huge opportunity. But today, what are the top 2, 3 products that are contributing to revenue?
Top 2, 3 products is UPS system, lithium, end user computing, which is the IT asset solution, batteries, and the solar EPC. These are the major main contributor. So these segment would keep contributing the way they're contributing. The major change would happen only by shift of the best which is going to come in.
Got it. Next question is, I think a lot of questions have repeated because everybody's asking what is the best value chain and what are the products. I think everybody asked the same question. Uh, do we need to get into any JVs for technology tie-ups for BESS, or do we have the technology in-house or the know-how to manufacture these systems?
If we do not have any technology as a whole base is the concern, we can do PCS in-house. We are doing assembly of lithium in-house. Now we have to design a cabinet or a container and to integrate the whole solution within it. For that, we are talking to 2, 3 people. Many things we have discussed because we are leveraging our long relation with China. So they are willing to support, and with their support, we are set up this unit in Manisa, and soon we will be starting the assembly plant with their support only. But it will be totally indigenous in India.
Okay. Next question from Sarang is the 25 crores capex for 1.2 gigawatt hours of BESS manufacturing seems small. If that is so, then anybody can set this up, and then the entry barriers seem to be low. Is that understanding true?
This is a good answer to be provided by Ram. Yeah, he can answer it very well.
When I say 25, largely this base is an assembly unit. The moment you go for the complete manufacturing, cell to container, it's a very, very large enterprise, large fund requirement. It is more than 100 million. So this 25 crore what we have put capex is from module to container, where we will outsource container and will do integration in-house. Next level will be where you can actually grow further, develop further, is cell to container. But for that, definitely the amount is too high. So this is the phase 1 where we want to test the product and test the market.
So Next question from Viraksha is, can you explain the economics of the Karnataka order? What is the cost for you to execute the order and how much rent you will receive and what is the unit economics per megawatts? If we,
Rent, I'm
it
already.
might get into slightly competitive and, this thing, but
All
yeah, what
details
if,
are in the public domain, Abhishek.
Yeah, yeah. See,
can you explain it?
this roughly as of now, what understanding is coming up, it's coming something around 1 crore per megawatt hour. Though there would be various aspects, various working which will be going on, how to what cost is right to be evaluated. And regarding the revenue which is expected, as I already mentioned earlier, it's around 46 crore of rental coming per year from this project, plus 81 crore of viability gap funding. So if you look at the 12-year lifetime value, it comes to roughly 630 crore for this particular Karnataka project.
Got it. Next question is, can you break up the order book in terms of what industries we serve or cater to? And I don't know if this makes any sense because I'm sure that sometimes could be BFSI, sometimes it could be oil and gas, and sometimes it could be what. So ऐसा कोई, I don't think what trend makes any
We have
sense,
to
but
focus on product. Largely it is UPS.
yeah,
So sector-wise, prefer करना is not required.
Not
understood.
required. See, if you
Next
look at,
question.
we are currently catering to around more than 20 industry already we are doing. It is healthcare, aviation, defense, automation, your engineering. So S&I segment, BFSI segment. So, there are around 28 plus industries already where we are catering. So it would always be a mix. It is from power electronic space. So sometimes it would be UPS, sometimes stabilizer, sometimes X, sometimes Y.
Um, Next question from Kaustubh is, which segment is the highest, provides us the highest margin? Is there any particular product or segment, business segment that gives us the highest margins today?
See, if you look at the highest margin side, more would be towards when we do lithium. So that is right now contributing us with the very, very good margin. And then second category comes is about the UPS system. So more we go toward the designing and customization side of it, higher increases the margin. As like what Ramji told earlier, that now though we being a tier two category, but we are competing with tier one companies. So when if I get an order, so my margin percentage goes up. So this two segment is primarily getting me much better margin.
Okay. Next question is, a lot of these questions have unfortunately been repeated, so I have to go through them. Is there a scope for margin expansion in the future? If yes, what are the key levers or initiatives you plan to drive this improvement?
Yes, there can be more of customization and solution instead of just selling a traditional standard product would help us to improve the margin on the entire category. More projects that we do, higher would be the leverage in terms of see because you would be eliminating competition. Your number of bidding would that would go down. And then second, what happened is about scalability. Bigger capacity, bigger size project would help us to optimize the cost for me, bring down the cost economics for me, and leverage on the right margin category. If I do a 40 crore project today, so this scalability helps me to participate in 100 crores of second category bidding. So the target segment and audience goes up. So as I go up, the margin would start improving.
His Bhavya's follow-up question is, with the growing focus on digital infrastructure, how does the company plan to contribute to and capture opportunities in the data center business?
Ram, yeah.
Energy storage is a big requirement in the data center business. So as I've told you, there are two main sectors, C&I and utility. So data center will be part of C&I only. So once this solutions is ready in India, locally available, then data center and all other sensitive critical application like data center will start taking from the people like us who is locally available. They don't want to take from the uh, importer or guess or trader who brings in supply. So matter of one more year maximum.
I think this question has come a few times now. Abhishek, can you bifurcate the 1,000 crore order book broadly segment wise? So how much will go to manufacturer, third party, IT solution, etc. So
See, this IT solution, see, I have not prepared here, but I would answer it.
broadly, if we can
Yeah,
talk.
broadly. This IT solution part would be roughly around 130 crore. Your energy storage part would be around 898 crore. And remaining would be from the, majorly it would be from the UPS, I
UP.
mean, our manufactured product or the value-added services. Third party, somewhere around 7 to 8 crore right now.
Um, what was the reason for the what was the reason for the significant jump in end user computing sales business in FY25?
It's again related to we have taken one major order from State Health Maharashtra for 94 crores as a complete bunch bid where we are doing the entire solutioning part, IT assets along with the UPS system. So that was the reason for jump in the end user. This is a segment which we added last year. Impact of it in this current year, we have got CCTNS order of 130 crore.
Okay. Next question is a lot of these questions have been answered, hopefully. What is our receivable cycle today at?
Receivable cycle is something around 100 and 120 days, roughly 115 days, roughly around.
Okay.
To be more precise, it is 111 days in FY25 is my
Okay.
receivable cycle as of now. It is majorly because of major billing being done towards the year end in the last quarter of the financial year.
Okay. And in terms of, um, is there any scope for bringing this down?
Yes, it can be brought down by having more efficient, I mean, this cash management, right? We have built in a complete dedicated team to look after the complete recovery part of it. That would help us to bring down that, as well as we have strengthened our operation on a much steadier term. People have joined, strengthen our operations so that cycle time reduces on an overall basis.
Okay. Next question from Paras is, can we run the BESS plant at 2-3 shifts if the demand outlook is good? Yes, we can. And what kind of EBITDA margins can this business bring? Is it going to be higher than current margins? Or, I mean, it's too early to say until we started, but will it be better or will it be same?
It
What do
would
you
be.
expect?
Yeah, see, it's actually dependent upon the many market dynamics. So currently, it is a difficult proposition to say because if we go for the rental model, there is a particular tariff which goes on. So how far and how rental goes down and how we are negotiating with our vendors in terms of procurement, all those factors will result into this overall margin implication. But if you look at on the boot site and boom model, EBITDA margin is always 95%, 90, 95, 92% is the EBITDA margin when it comes for the rental model side. On the EPC side, we are still to work. It's all upon the negotiation that we do.
Um,
Overall, margin will be much better compared to UPS because
Yeah.
we are thinking going on OEM side in BESS.
and in terms of this OEM, there's a bunch of questions. What are the kind of MNC, top 2 or 3 MNC companies that we would be targeting?
Honestly, there is no any company who has ventured into and successfully set up their unit in India or in this sector. Even today, Adani and Tata Birla also they are not able to set up their plant. So it's too
So,
early. So it will take another 1 more year because whoever is targeting, they are not targeting BESS alone. They are targeting overall EV also. So it will take 1 or 2 years to come to a conclusion who is the top 5 player in this BESS segment and whom to target. Because top 5 means in either the APC, as a developer, as a OEM. So it is too early to say anything on this.
Right. Virag's follow-up question is that at 100% capacity utilization of almost 1,200 crore kind of revenue at 25 crore investment, it sounds too high of an asset turnover that you'll have. Yeah, go ahead.
Even in terms of our existing revenue, what we have, if you look at the capex, see, it's like an assembling plant, what Ramji told. So if it's an assembling plant, it's more like a workstation. So your main USP comes in terms of designing and understanding the product. Like a project that we are doing for Adani right now, the entire designing side has been taken care by us. So we being from the power electronics space, yeah, he is right. We cannot avoid somebody coming and putting up a factory. Factory is fine, but it's also about the nuances and learning side of it, how to run the factory and how to address if there is some malfunctioning happening at the site, how will you address that particular area? There you come need to have your technological skill set to be ready. In power electronics space, generally the capex high because of being assembling. I'm not into cabinet manufacturing. I'm not into lithium cell manufacturing. Once I start that, then I need additional what Ramji told. The 700 800 crores of funding would be required. So that would be a stage back. Right now it's assembling. If
Got
I
it.
come, yeah, that's the reason.
So next question from Naman is, since a significant portion of our raw materials are imported, how do we manage this? Also the key trends on the key commodities like lead, lithium, copper, etc. How they evolved over the last few years, and how do we manage this also in our projects?
The lead and others, what he is saying, our total import percentage as on last year was around 9%, 8 to 9% only overall. So we are doing mainly procurement in India. And regarding lead, it's more related to battery side.
So basically, even if it is imported, we are procuring from people that have all domestic companies. So we are
Right.
not really importing it individually, and hence we don't have
Individually.
that risk
Risk, yeah, yeah.
of the forex or anything like that for imports.
Yeah, yeah. That risk is
These
minimized.
companies have some setup in India, probably to a large extent.
And even that lead side, that is mainly related to battery. So if the battery cost goes up, it would be equally passed on to the end customer.
Correct. And
Yes.
since
No,
our project execution cycles are also largely small,
correct.
the risk of really, prices going up and us not being able to make money in such projects is very low.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Got it.
The more challenge it bring or it come in the import business, the more it's good for the manufacturers.
Right. Um, Next question. A lot of questions on this margins of BESS, but we've already answered them. Um, Maybe this question has come a bunch of times. I think we can answer this. What is our outlook for maybe top line and margin guidance over the next 3 to 5 years? I don't think we should use the word guidance, but if you have based on the kind of visibility or where you would like to see yourself, what kind of sustainable growth can you see over the next 2 3 years? Of course, once BESS comes in, it will significantly enhance this opportunity, but where do you see in terms of top line, bottom line over the next few years and margin wise?
I would answer it very, very diplomatically, Anuji. See, what I'm minimum something around 20, 25, overall from next year onward, what we are targeting, 25% plus growth would be there on the minimum side. Rest, additionally, BESS would be a big contributing factor as to what the order sizing comes in because here value is very high when it comes to the energy storage side. In terms of the margin, our margin would be maintained at level of EBITDA margin 13 14% is what we are still expecting to maintain on an overall guidance basis.
Sure. Um, are there any mention any eligibility criteria for VGF and explain how we were able to get 80 crores VGF? You want to understand how VGF is a
Okay.
proportion of your total project costs.
The viability gap funding is something which has been central government assistance fund, which is there. So it is at 27 lakh rupees per megawatt hour or 30% of the project cost, whichever is being worked on lower side. So if you multiply 300 by into 27, it comes to around 81 crores of VGF funding. Now, this disbursement would happen in phases. First is that 10% is on financial closure, 45% would be against a COD, then 15% each after 1 year, second year, and third year from COD. This is the way 81 crore has been broken down.
Got it.
And beauty part, we have taken at 27 lakh. Now new projects are coming at 18 lakh per megawatt hour.
Okay. Are we affected by any of these technology changes in cell chemistry from sodium ion or anything else? Will our business model be affected at all? Ramji?
No. See, this is the evolving business. Every time sodium will come. Now we have heard of sand battery energy storage. Instead of lithium battery, there will be sand. So this is evolving, and it will take time to get the product tested in the lab, and then for the commercial production, successful commercial production. So for next 5 to 10 years, you can bank on lithium ion battery, because the whole world is using lithium ion battery, and as we are good follower. So let them first use the sodium ion battery completely, then we will follow them in India. Like five
Sure.
years to minimum, I think it will not change.
Okay. Next question, and I'll take this as the last question because we are running out of time. But how much is the pricing power that Prostarm has on its orders or projects? Is it constrained by any third parties? And what are the threats the company expects or any risks to the business that it sees that you may have?
See, regarding the pricing side, it depends upon the type of vertical and segment that we are catering. So if we are more towards the bidding side, yes, there is a story of something being you have to be L1, but vis-a-vis your credential helps you to reduce the competitive of more players coming into the competition for the bigger value orders. And more towards now, Prostarm is more working towards a solution-based approach rather than selling a standardized product. So that gives you an additional mileage in terms of your margin generation, which is very well reflected in my EBITDA. If you look at the EBITDA and PAT margin what Prostarm is having over last 3.5 years, vis-a-vis what is there with the other players who are into only standard product sell, is a differentiating factor. So segment approach, pan-India presence, more of the customization based solution, and your capability to reduce the competitiveness, more competition into the category helps you to generate a better margin.
And any risks that you foresee in your business, in your sector? What are the kind
Risk.
of risks that you
Risk is
can?
always there in any business. But if you ask us if
What
there
is
is
the biggest risk for you?
because this is a China's contribution. If to not China India comes into a war, supply chain will get disturbed. But not only us, the whole market will get disturbed. Other than this, there is no any risk on this supply chain side in our sector.
Why
So
to add further?
supply
Yes,
chain, yeah. So supply chain is one of the biggest risks that you see because
and
there is a
product
high
we always
dependence
Because
upgrade.
of
on China.
China.
Because there's a high dependence on China. Sorry, Abhishek, you were saying something.
And product upgrade is always a part of technology. So
Sure,
that we have to keep doing.
sure.
So that is where
But
what we are
being that
realizing.
we are not product innovators and we are more EPC as well as adopters and more of at the end of the day, whatever the client wants, if they want lithium ion tomorrow, if they want sand or sodium or whatever or water, ultimately we would try to source those technologies and assemble them for the clients. So the risk is lesser for us. Great. Thank you so much, Abhishek ji and Ramji. It has been a very educational session for me and I'm sure for the viewers. Thank you everybody for participating and asking some very interesting questions. I do know that there are a lot of questions and repeated questions that people need more clarity on. So please get in touch with our team and we'd be happy to help you to understand this better. And Abhishek ji, Ramji, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks all of you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.